This is not the place where I wanted to end up after my MBA. So each company started their application at different points of time. Certain companies started 3 weeks before a big screen where they'll just put the shortlisted candidates' name who are shortlisted for the subsequent rounds as well. With this particular clause in place, I had to go for my PPO because I didn't want to risk my job. Like we used to sleep on the desk in the classroom, just doze off. Then somebody we'll just wake up our friends and say, yeah, your name is there in the shortlist, get ready for the interview, sort of. In case I'm rejecting a PPO, there is a limit on the number of applications I could do for a lateral.
You had like two terms without a break, and the second term was the summer placements. How does that work? Is that also like typical IM placements with day one, day two, and all that? Do you have to write a lot now? Because we used to have like forms where we had to write our life story and why we want to apply for some of the companies and all that. And I wasn't sure, is that still going on, or are there companies who don't ask for that?
Now it's all virtual, so it's just laptop. We were just running around with the laptop, so everything is virtual, but still we do need to write all these answers. Like before the placements day happens, which is the day zero, before like 1 week or 2 weeks before we start applying, the application forms are long enough, like starting with basic details. Then sometimes it's writing, like explaining why do you want to join this company, or why are you passionate being a business analyst with this firm. Or there could be even videos that needs to be recorded on introduction of yourself, why do you want to do this and stuff. So I think it was a mix. We used to have application was 50% and the rest 50% was video recordings, which we had to do multiple times to get it right. So that's how the initial application process used to be. So each company started their application at different points of time. Certain companies started 3 weeks before. They had a very long process, multiple steps. Like before they actually come to campus, they have virtual rounds happening again, which is elimination sort of. So each company had its own processes, but all these things were happening in parallel. So there was nothing like, okay, you do with the academics, then you do your placement stuff. It was never like that. It's all parallel threads, managing these parallel threads.
So you had a whirlwind summer placement thing. Where did you get placed?
I got placed in Cognizant.
And was that like day zero, one, two? How does that work?
Summer placement is very random. I did apply and get shortlisted for multiple rounds. Certain companies I have reached the interviews as well, but didn't convert. So I did have my own share of struggles in the day zero, day one kind of. Then 2 days, I believe it was 3 days later, that's when Cognizant interviews happened. I think this happened in the night. So somewhere around midnight, the interviews were happening.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's round the clock. We don't have a break. So day zero, it started from, I believe, 5 a.m. We were all grouped into different classrooms. So in the classrooms, they'll announce which company is doing the interview in which place, and in our system, we could see if we were shortlisted for the company or not. They'd also put a big screen where they'll just put the shortlisted candidate's name who are shortlisted for the subsequent rounds as well. We need to keep a tab of it. As soon as they put their okay interview has started, we need to follow our placecom rep and go to the respective blocks. So this just goes 24-hour stuff. Started 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. on day zero. It went on. I never got a proper sleep break, to be honest. Like we used to sleep on the desk in the classroom, just doze off. Then somebody we'll just wake up our friends and say, yeah, your name is there in the shortlist, get ready for the interview, sort of. Then we'll just go to the room just to get changed. So we were just running. And finally, I think, yeah, I had my own share of struggle. Day three, I believe, after day zero, one, two, three. So it was a fourth
That
day.
sounds like completely so full on. I can't even imagine. And definitely not anymore. Maybe back in the day I would have. Yeah, we didn't have 24 hours, but I do recall we had like 16, 18 hour of placements, even 25 years ago?
Like my internship project was interesting because it's the life sciences domain. Because of COVID, the life sciences was the most hyped area because new things happening, drug discovery, and that's where I got to do my secondary research in terms of what's the upcoming roadmap of for technology looks like. So post the internship, I was actually given a PPO. So I had a PPO in mind, but I had to accept it. Again, college rules. If you're denying a PPO, you cannot sit for, like, there are certain rules on how many applications you could do for a lateral placement. With 3 years of experience, I was eligible for a lateral placement. So we had lateral and final placements. So people with I think 1.5 or 2 years, but each year the experience bar might vary. People with 1.5 plus years of experience could sit for the laterals, and rest of the folks and freshers could sit for the final placements. So I was actually looking forward to this laterals. The PPO came few months after my internship, so I was prepping myself for the laterals. I had this second thought, what do I do about it? I didn't expect this. I wanted to sit for laterals because Microsoft was my dream company, which was coming for laterals in IMK campus. In case I'm rejecting a PPO, there is a limit on the number of applications I could do for a lateral. For example, it was three, irrespective of whether I would get a shortlist or I am able to convert. So if I'm not able to convert, I won't be able to sit for the rest of the placements.
Wow, that is like a very tight condition.
Yes, and with this particular clause in place, I had to go for my PPO because I didn't want to risk my job. Like I had like one to 2 months of break because Cognizant took their own time and my joining date was delayed. So I had this time when, because back then during MBA itself, I was keen on getting into a product manager role. So I started thinking, what do I do with this 2 months? This is not the place where I wanted to end up after my MBA. So I had made my decision. So I thought I'll join. Let me see if I can uh, try other jobs. So the 2 months I had, I gave a lot of interviews. I think I joined Cognizant. It was the training phase, the first 1 month. I applied for startup. I got the call within a week. 3 rounds of interviews happened, got converted, and it was a PM role.